Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, welcome in. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys for locking in here and staying with us here. We apologize. Late start, had some technical difficulties. We are off and rolling though. We will go over. We're pushing the show back all the way up, and we're going to head every segment. We're going to do everything as we always do, so you guys do not miss out. We are a show of the people. Some people around here might think we're not, but we are a show of the people. We will be talking about that a bit later, too. Broder, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Glad we got this figured out. The big day in sports news.
Huge.
Michigan. We got some JMO slander coming from the morning show. It's going to be a fun show.
It is.
Actually, not JMO. Well, kind of JMO slander. More our show slander.
Our show, yeah.
We're coming.
So we have a packed show. We've got Jalen in the TD booth as always, and we've got Nick in the sound booth as well. We've got a full crew here.
In the
nighttime, yes, sir. We've got a full crew. I'll go over this rundown real quick before we get rolling.
Tell them.
We're going to start off here 8 o'clock. We're going to talk about just some trending topics, obviously. 8:15, we're going to do it. Usually we go straight into Lions. We're actually going to talk about the breaking news with Michigan. A lot of things happen with that.
8:15 is a little farther back.
So at 8:30, we're going to talk about the breaking news with Michigan. A lot of things that happened there. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh, all of that came out. 8:45, we're going to dive in now. We're going to go into the Lions versus the Bears. Justin Fields, Detroit Lions defense, all of that sort of stuff. We're going to get into everything like that. 9 o'clock. This is the one. Someone on the morning show that sits in this seat had a lot to say about our show. Maybe around the tune of, that was the worst segment and thing that he's ever heard in sports talk history. Flannel, if you're watching, I still love you, but I'm going to have to go at your head. And when I say, and I don't go at heads a lot, but when I do and when I get pissed off, it's going to be something. And Nick, he went at Nick a little bit, and Nick has something to say. We have some things to say. I wrote about 2 paragraphs of notes of things about Flannel that I'm ready to get into and go at heads here. And when I say this, I'm not kidding. All day today, when I was driving over here, I made some fun. I'm not a happy camper. We work hard on this show. I know he loves the show. He tunes in. He says it's his favorite night show. But that statement there, when you say it's the worst segment you've ever heard in sports talk history, okay, now we got personal. Now we have a problem. Now I got to go at your head a little bit. We're doing that at 9 o'clock. Nick has something to say about that because he did mention Nick as well, and he came at us a lot on that. So that's at 9 o'clock. Things will go off a little bit there. 9:15, though, once we get done with that, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, they were on the podium today. I have a couple videos from them. At 9:30, we're going to do Top 5 Thursday. One thing about the Top 5 Thursday, too, is we've been doing this for about, if you guys tuned into the show, we've been doing this for about a month and a half, maybe about 5 or 6 weeks we've been doing Top 5 Thursday. Another show is doing Top 5 Thursdays.
Yeah. Thinking that they created it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We could share. We love the people, man.
Yeah,
we love them.
We're just going to slowly just climb right past them.
We will. The 9:45, Dan Campbell. We're going to talk about this little Texas A&M thing. There was obviously the rumors that they called him up about money, all these different things. I put a tweet out about it. Obviously, it's not true. That he shut it all down, but we're going to dive in some questions on that. Yeah. 9:45. 10 o'clock now, or 9:50. It's going to be 9:50 now. We're going to do heat check. Me and Broder each have a couple players who are doing, we picked 2 players who are doing really well, 2 players who are doing really bad. 9:50, we're going to get into...
Mailbag. No.
I think I messed that up. Okay.
We'll figure it out. Just stay with us.
That we're doing our top 5 quarterback and wide receiver duels. I skipped a segment. The whole time thing messed me up here. I'm a little smart, but I'm not that smart. Things messed me up a little bit. All right, let's get into it, though. Thursday Night Football is actually about to start, or it just started. Bengals at Ravens. Let's just get it real quick. If you guys haven't yet, put in the chat who you guys think is going to win. I'll start us off. I think the Bengals win this game.
Do you?
I really do. I just think they're in that desperate mode. I know the Ravens are really, really good, but I think the Bengals, they're in such a desperate mode that they need to start stacking wins.
The Ravens are driving right now. 4 minutes into the game, they're on like the 3-yard line.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I just put a live bet
You say
on.
let's go. You picked the Bengals, and the Ravens are driving.
Oh, the Ravens. Oh, I thought you were going to say the Bengals. Sorry. Everything's all over the place. I put a live bet on because there was a boost on FanDuel for a live bet, and I did a live bet. Lamar Jackson touchdown and Jamar Chase over 85.5 yards. I think it came out to about plus 430, plus 450, something like that. So I did do that. So if you guys want to lock in on that.
Mark Andrews might be hurt.
No.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like 89. Is he number 89?
He is. That's tough.
Yeah, JB had, I think, on the show earlier in the day, he had a Mark Andrews
prop
more than 50-some yards or something like that. Was that you?
Kay Adams had a prop out, too, for the Kay Adams Gronk bet. Anytime I can talk about, Kay. But just wanted to read this one off. John Macaroon. Oh, no, they pissed off the crazy Russian guy in the booth. He did. We are coming at Flannel, 9 o'clock. Stay tuned.
Shout out, by the way, Doc Macaroon. Did you see his video on Twitter?
I did.
He tried the J-Mo burger.
I'm doing it Sunday after the
Ballsy.
pregame show. I'm excited.
He gave it a 10 out of 10. I'm interested to see what you say.
Yeah, I'm excited. We the crew that's doing the pregame show, we've all talked, and we're going to do it for the pregame show Sunday. I think it's me, Jeff, Easy, Spencer, and Gentry, I believe. We got a packed crew, so I think we're all going to go get them and do it.
Oh, you guys have a trash can around?
Who do you have in this game here?
I got the Ravens for sure.
No, now that they're driving down. It doesn't count.
I was going to pick the Ravens anyway.
Sure.
This helps. It does. No, they're I can't remember what the stats are. They're dominant versus the Bengals, and they're playing at home. They got pissed off after losing to the Browns last week.
Yeah.
I just think the Ravens come back firing. If I didn't even watch the first 4 minutes, I turned it on and they're at the 3-yard line. If that says anything. They're motivated for a dub.
I see a lot of people actually putting Bengals in the chat.
Bengals they had a tough loss last week, but until then they've been hot.
Yeah,
Joey Burr his name's going to come up a little later today.
I'm seeing Bengals, man. Seeing Bengals.
Hey, that's fine.
Let's keep this boat rolling here. Unless, boys, what do you guys have here real quick? Bengals, Ravens, boys? I know it already started. Broder already cheated.
I'll take the Ravens. I was going to go with the Ravens. They were coming off a big loss, too. In a game they should have won, I was going to go with the Ravens. I mean, it's the first quarter. Anything can happen, but I got Ravens.
My guy.
Jalen?
I'm going to go Bengals.
Let's go. It's 2-2 like last week. And guess who won last week?
Probably you guys, since you're bringing it up.
Yep. Bears. The Bears.
So Booner and Nick have the Bengals.
Yeah, we'll.
No, I got the Ravens. Jalen has Bengals.
That's right.
There we go. We're all in the head right now. Did you see Broder, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the news from him?
That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, Jalen, do you have some of that stuff uploaded? Are we able to throw the St. Brown one up there, the breaking news? So instead of them having quarterback, the NFL or the Netflix show, they're kind of switching it over, it sounds like, to where they're going to do other players as well because they couldn't get quarterbacks. In Detroit Lions, wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown will be featured in the new Netflix sequel to the show Quarterback. And they have been, you've been around the Allen Park. Have you seen
Congratulations, you just got Amon-Ra St.
around
Brown
for a few months now.
Maybe.
So you have.
I didn't know what it was for.
So you have seen a lot of cameras around him.
There's some. Is it NFL Network or NFL?
It's NFL Network and Netflix.
Yeah, maybe.
You have. Did you know inside information you couldn't share with us?
I don't know. I still don't know what can be shared or not. And yes, I've seen cameras. I didn't know what they were for or what they're for.
I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not. I can't. Literally, I'm not allowed to share everything that goes on in the locker room in there.
Okay.
I try to share as much as I can. But I can't share
Did
everything.
you sign a paper that said don't share that?
There are things. There are things.
Wow, we'll talk off air. Me and you now, hey,
I didn't know about this. Like, I didn't know this was Netflix. I didn't know they're doing a new quarterback. I didn't know what Amon-Ra St. Brown was doing with it. But I love the idea. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's a character, and he's comfortable on camera. He has his own podcast with his brother. We see all these new ads coming out. I think it'll be a great show.
Over under, because there is a rumor out there that he does know who Booner is, and there's a Booner. He knows the Booner name. Over under 0.5. of times Booner mentioned in Netflix, in the Netflix series.
Ooh.
I'm going to go under.
Wow.
Not once.
Don't have faith in me.
But you asked a question and I answered the question, Booner.
Anyone else?
I'm fired up for this doc.
You going over under?
I'm going to go under.
Under? Wow, the Booth boys. Okay. I see how this is, brother.
I don't know. He usually puts these dummies out when he's running routes that he puts like a cutout of your face on the dummies, and it allows him, like when he's running routes, get physical, like give Booner a jab up in the chin, the other one, go at the knees. who knows? We might be able to see that. We might get that exclusive access.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some moves here to make sure this goes over.
I feel like if you trashed him or something, and he
I would never.
we're on it. I know, which you would never do. So I feel like that's a reason why you could get on it. He would be responding to that. But I'm fired up for this, for him to be highlighted as a top, or one of the top 5 guys.
And as he's going to be going through maybe a contract negotiation, there's a lot to talk about him. As we talk about often, how good is he? Is he a top 5 receiver, top 10? I don't know. I'm excited. He's going to be great on TV.
He's having the perfect year to do this too, because he's having a career year, which he's already put numbers up the last year or so, or the last 2 years. But this year he's how many, 4 or 5 straight games with 100 yards. He's top 5 in the NFL right now as a wide receiver. He is dominating right now every game, it feels like, and they're following him around, and they're literally, there's a chance that the Lions go to the Super Bowl and they could all have just caught with him on Racing.
True.
They're incredible.
And there's a national audience with them too, Germany, Europe.
Yes.
They're trying to expand into Germany. Well, they are in Germany. They're building up their international appeal. And this would be a bonus for them.
Let's kind of move from that. Jared Goff.
JG.
2 things we have for Jared Goff today. First thing, we have spoke a lot about contract negotiations with Jared Goff and what's going on with that. I did, and Jalen, there's a thing in there that's it's just a paragraph about Jared Goff. Jeremy Fowler put out yesterday that he heard that there's a potential that the Jared Goff contract negotiations are done for the year, and not officially we're done completely, but it's hey, we're gonna probably put this on hold until the off season, because it's just right now we just don't need to worry about it. And I know we've had these conversations about should they do it now, should they do it during the playoffs, should they do it next year, should they wait? And here is what it says. It says one team quarterback marriage to watch is Jared Goff and the Lions. Goff is putting together another Pro Bowl performance for the 7-2 Lions, in 2024 is his last year under his contract. And there's the details. Goff and the Lions have had talks about the future, but no deal is in the works during the season. So they have not spoken about it this season. In the offseason, however, the Lions will likely up their efforts to secure Goff's long-term contract. He's only 29, yada, yada, yada. They kind of go on from there. And he goes on to explain that. So it sounds like they're just hey, we're not doing this right now. We're focused on the season. They know that he knows that they want him there. They know that he, you know what I mean? It's a mutual thing. Sounds like a deal will get done in the offseason. It's just not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, now who knows what goes on behind the scenes all throughout the year. Anytime contract talks have come up, or a media member has asked a question, their response is usually, we're not even going to talk about it. We're not thinking about that. We're not going to deal with it. Whether that's legit for the entire year or not, it makes sense. They're so focused on their goal of winning the Super Bowl that they're not going to mess around with that, even if it costs them a little bit in the offseason.
Yeah, they're absolutely dialed, which is cool. I love that. Hey, let's just dial it in. We don't really care. Some clips that we have here from Ben Johnson later today and Aaron Glenn, it's these guys are locked in.
Yes.
You have never seen Detroit Lions coaches, players, just an organization locked in kind of in lockstep that these guys are.
You can feel their focus, right? We're going to play the Bears, which aren't a good team, and not to say the Bears can't beat the Lions, but it feels like they're playing the Chiefs. They're playing the number 1 team in the league. That's what they're planning on.
Yeah, you look up in the dictionary what is the definition of a down week, or what is the term that I'm looking for that we always use?
A stat game?
A stat, yeah, or
the opposite of David Montgomery.
What David Montgomery says.
Yeah,
but this feels like it's one of those games to where you could fall because you get caught slipping, and that's what it feels like. And they're like you said, it's like they're playing the Chiefs.
You can fall because you get caught slipping. I like that.
Thank you.
Nice.
So that's a Booner original.
Poet.
Last thing before the break, though, here. Breaking news.
Blah, blah, blah.
Can we get a siren? Easy from the Heavyweight Show. And Jalen, if you want to throw his tweet up whatever you want, do it in the Slack. Easy came out. We've had these arguments with it, not like that, but we've had these arguments with him about Jared Goff a lot. Some random person on Twitter in his DMs. I don't know why it took a random person as his DMs. It's one of the funnier things when I talked to him back there on the story. But he came out and said, hey, I'm done with the Goff slander. I can't read that, brother. That's really, really small.
Says, I think Jared Goff is the best play-action quarterback in the entire NFL, which he is, so it's good that you think that, Easy. And I'm very proud of his rebound from when he first got here in Detroit. His comeback has shown true Detroit underdog spirit. I'm all bought in on the rest of the season. No more unnecessary negative talk from me. Let's go get that Super Bowl JG with the Pinocchio nose. One pride, Lion. Hashtag.
And there, I think that's breaking news in my opinion. He's gonna let Jared easy. The one person, no matter what, Lions were 7-2. He was going at Jared Goff's head the last 2 days, and he'll admit
That's
it.
2 years.
He said, "Hey, the rest of the year, I'm gonna lock in on us going to win like a Super Bowl and going and winning." I've only been trying to preach this for the last 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 weeks, and finally he's like came around. It took a random person on Twitter. Maybe it was my burner, and I messaged him.
Maybe.
Who knows?
And by the way, Steve Lehman, I asked him that if he was trolling. He said he wasn't. Spenmo had a similar tweet that was trolling, so that's why I thought maybe Easy was just trolling still. But no, Easy said, "Hey, this is legit. I meant it." So take that for what it is.
All right, well, we're gonna hit break. When we come back, we're gonna dive into this Michigan stuff in a little bit. I see a lot of people in the chat like go straight to the flannel stuff. That will be at 9 o'clock. So make sure you guys stay here, tuned in for 9 o'clock. We will have that stuff at 9. 8:30, though, when we come back, we are going to talk Michigan a little bit, breaking news. Before Nick tells us about Big Boy, I'm going to tell you guys about the Detroit or Woodward Sports Lions Insider Show. That is Woodward in Maine.
Cool show.
Hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, our own Matt Broder.
It's a great show.
And Detroit legend Terry Foster. That is Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. Whoa, Booner, get it together. Make sure you guys tune into that, though. Insider information, everything you guys need, legal insider information, player injuries, everything you guys need to know, they will have it ready for you on the Woodward Sports Network. Nick, tell us about Big Boy.
Yes, sir. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a new gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop at your local Big Boy today.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, Outdoor Equipment Company. I'm sorry, I just saw something really funny. All right, let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned. That is bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. They have it all. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows and salters. That is Outdoor Equipment Co. They have everything that you need. You can buy it, you can rent it, 0% financing, delivery right to your doorstep, and that is over right there above me at OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking it out with us here today. Even though we had a late start, we're locked in. We're ready to roll here. We've got a huge show for you guys, and if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get over 50 here. We're a little behind, so let's get to 50. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get into it, though, Broder.
Bro.
Michigan.
accepting that suspension.
Yes, Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, they accepted the suspension from the Big Ten, and it seemed like, Broder, and I'll let you take it here a little bit after this, but it seems like with it being kind of a mutual thing, you could either say, I hear the side like Spenny said it, like, oh, they did it because there's actually proof that they were doing something wrong, or you could probably just look at it and say, hey, the Big Ten, like, they didn't want to go through this legal battle.
Thank you.
Because they knew exactly what was going to happen. The fact that you said a day ago that they had 3 different like places around the country, around the state, one in Birmingham,
the law firms
Ann Arbor,
that represent them,
in Ann Arbor, the biggest one in the country. It seemed like the Big Ten was like a little bit over their heads, and they were like, all right, if you guys just do this, we'll lay off you, we'll end the investigation, you guys deal with the NCAA, and let's just go our separate ways.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many layers to this. It's hard. We got to see it still play out. I think in the short term, it's a loss for Michigan, losing their coach in the biggest game of the year against Ohio State. But in the long term, I think it's a win for Michigan, and it might even be a win for the Big Ten too. To be determined if it's a win for the commissioner Tony Petitti. But they didn't just back down. They didn't just accept their suspension. They agreed with the Big Ten. Hey,
yes,
we'll agree. We'll accept this extension if you drop your investigation against us. A week ago, the Big Ten said that they still have they still withhold the ability to seek further investigation. If further evidence comes out, they can penalize Michigan further. The type of energy that the Big Ten was bringing to this, the angst that the members forcing on Tony Petito to go after Michigan, the optics just continue to look bad. And as soon as it hits the court system, all that evidence becomes public. All that evidence has to come out at some point. If Michigan thinks they have something on other Big Ten schools, they can bring that out. They can call whoever to the stand. And this is long term, over the course of a couple months, which an actual case would take, not just the TRO. It looks like you have a question.
It just something popped in my head, like the statement that you were putting there and what you were saying there. It just popped in my head when you said like all of this evidence will hit the courts, all of that. Guess what tomorrow was? The court hearing.
Yes.
That was tomorrow. This isn't like a thing to where Michigan was like, oh, they have too much on us, let's take a step back. No, Michigan went out and hired all these different law firms. They were ready to put their head down, and they were like, let's go head to head. We're battling you right now. They didn't care about anything else. The people that took a step back, it feels like, is the Big Ten.
Yes.
And the only people, like I see a lot of people, Michigan State people on Twitter and like Ohio State people that actually, some people tweeted me. Like, I don't even know, like, you're Ohio State. Leave me alone. You've lost to in Michigan State. What do you do? Like, but it's just, you guys are sitting here using these excuses saying, oh, there's actually something going on. Michigan backed off because they knew the Big Ten was going to get them. No, Michigan hired 3 law firms. They were ready to go to battle, and it was most likely the Big Ten. I'm not going to say it's a fact. Most likely the Big Ten that was like, all this evidence is going to come out tomorrow. Michigan probably had all this evidence about Big Ten schools. They were getting ready to go here.
Yeah.
Big Ten probably would have blown up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the commissioner, Tony Petitti, was like, oh, what did we do?
Not going to happen.
That's where I kind of look at it. Like, and when we spoke to Easy in the back, there was that realization back there when you told him that they just canceled the investigation. They weren't done with it. They suspended him. They didn't even finish the investigation.
They barely even started.
Yes.
They went off of what the evidence that the NCAA provided to them. They then took it and used a sportsmanship policy within the Big Ten rules to suspend the head coach of the University of Michigan, which just so happens to be Jim Harbaugh.
Detroit Dabber said, "That's quite the spin, Booner."
No, it could be.
That's what I'm sitting up here for.
There are so many directions, and Michigan may not. This isn't over for Michigan either. They still have the NCAA investigation. This doesn't exactly look great for them, but they just got the Big Ten Conference off their back for the extent of this. So now Jim Harbaugh has to miss the Ohio State game, but he can coach in the Big Ten Championship should they make it there. If they make it to the college football playoff, he'll be able to coach there. They can then win a national championship and deal with the NCAA after that, because even if the NCAA finishes their investigation tomorrow, Michigan still has 90 days to respond to that. 90 days to provide their own evidence, whatever they want to rebuttal with. They have 90 days to do that. So that'll go after the NCAA.
The NCAA does a correct investigation. They actually go through it before they do anything to it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
And they don't exactly love Harbaugh either, but I think they're they're staying within the rules a little bit more, and even to this point, and I am actually of the belief that if you're the head coach, if you're the CEO of a business, you are responsible for knowing everything. And Jim Harbaugh actually wrote, or that was in a Bo Schembechler book, saying that. And so I get that, but the NCAA and all the evidence that the Big Ten had, it didn't say that they found anything on Jim Harbaugh's connection to college.
That is a fact, actually.
Yes.
Now, Andrew Jones, he said that's a full-on conspiracy theory, Booner. They realized they didn't have a leg to stand on, otherwise they would have fought.
False.
Andrew, please send me the article. Show me where there was actually somewhere that stated Michigan backed down. Yes, they took the suspension, but that could have just been a mutual agreement to where the Big Ten and Michigan said, hey, listen, we have this on you guys. We have this. We're ready for tomorrow. They wouldn't have gone out and just gotten 3 law firms if they weren't ready to go tomorrow. The night before, and Michigan's just all of a sudden like, no, it's like, this is all conspiracy theories until there's actually paperwork and like they could show us. Yes, I might be a Michigan fan and spinning it a certain way into our favor. That's just me. Broder's more of the beat reporter, more logical of it. I'm the more.
I still have a bias, but I'm trying to be unbiased.
You could, well, I'm going to be. I'll fight till the end, even if you show me the paperwork. I'm going to go. I don't even care. I could be dead wrong. I'm going to still fight.
I don't take this as a backing down, because even if they had gone to court and lost this hearing, they didn't get the restraining order accepted by the courts. The result is exactly what they accepted, minus the fact that the Big Ten can still continue to investigate them, still be a thorn in their sides, a pest. They removed all that. So I think they lost this battle for the sake of winning the war. They want to go out. They now regain some of that power. Also, the Big Ten, the optics look a little better. They do feel like, it feels like, especially today, like they kind of came out on top. Michigan back down to Harbaugh, but when you think about it, this suspension, one game, it is the biggest game of the year, but we'll call it one game now left, because I'm not really worried about Maryland.
This is the thing, Broder.
What?
Like Andrew John, I'm gonna keep going with their comments here. He said they filed an injunction, they withdrew it less than a week later. Listen, I'm telling you, just because they withdrew it doesn't mean they were the ones that stepped back.
That's a tactic. It's a tactic.
The thing is, the Big Ten could have kept investigating this after they suspended him, and they could have gone to court. They could have kept going and kept going. They agreed that they're completely done with this. They're saying we're done. NCAA is already investigating it. They can handle it. We're done. They wouldn't have said we're completely done if Michigan didn't agree with that. If they didn't say they were completely done and they were like, hey, we're going to keep investigating, Michigan would be there tomorrow. I promise you that.
It's a tactic. And that's their leverage they had against the Big Ten. Hey, we're gonna go down.
We're gonna cost you a lot of money.
We're gonna fight it. Even if we lose, we're gonna cost a lot of money. We're gonna fight. This is gonna be in the headlines every single morning. Continued through the Big Ten championship, through the national championship.
You're gonna lose. Yeah, maybe they went there and said, hey, we're leaving the Big Ten if you guys don't settle on this with us.
Could be an empty threat. Could be a real threat.
Yeah.
It's a difficult situation, but the last thing the Big Ten members, the last thing Big Ten ADs or presidents want is the Big Ten just getting slandered. Hey, Jalen, there we go. The last thing that they want is the Big Ten to be in the negative headlines. So the whole concept of like governance in college athletics was at stake here. When you think of a commissioner sort of out of nowhere, and yes, there are allegations and stuff, but before the NCAA actually confirmed wrongdoings, was done with the investigation, they said, wait, actually, there's a lot of pressure right now. We'll just suspend you in the middle of the season. We'll affect your team, your coach. We'll affect this season, and we'll deal with everything. We'll continue to deal with it later. That opens up the door to some bad possibilities in the future of if pressure's put on whatever way. You can just make these moves without evidence. And without evidence.
And this is what I'll leave it at.
Yeah.
Let's all, and I'm sure everyone in the chat, everyone listening, we can all come to an agreement on this, whether you like Michigan or not. Ryan Day, the scumbag, that scumbag piece of you know what. He got what he wanted, right? He did all of this. He opened the jar of pickles. And he opened it up so this can all happen. And guess what? He got what he wanted. It's now him versus Sharon Moore.
I actually think he comes out probably as the biggest loser in all this.
He does. And guess what's going to happen? I tweeted this out a little bit ago, earlier today. I tweeted it out. I said, listen, Ryan Day, you're going to look like the biggest loser from this because you're still going to lose to Michigan. And on your drive home, all the way back to Columbus, Ohio,
ring, ring,
you're going to get a phone call and they're going to fire you. You could just lost to Michigan 3 straight times, probably missing a college football playoffs, and you will be fired on the way home after you lose to Michigan. And I'm sure all of us in this room, I'm sure all of the chat, all of the Michigan State fans, I'm sure we can all kumbaya that together there, and we can all be friends about that.
You could argue that Harb's absence from the game, from that game on November 25th against that state down south, you can argue that makes a bigger statement anyway. If Harbaugh's not on the field and they win, there you go. And I'm not going to use this as an excuse, but people will. If they lose the game, they didn't have their head coach.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I still think they're going to win. But hey, there was our rant for the day.
That was the Michigan rant. We had to talk about it. We had to go over it real quick. When we come back, we're gonna talk Chicago Bears a little bit, game week. We're gonna jump into Justin Fields. Have a couple videos from Aaron Glenn, and I think maybe just Aaron Glenn about this defense against Justin Fields. See how we feel about this matchup. Is it a little bit too? Are we overlooking it? Before that, I'm going to tell you guys about the Lions postgame show, Woodward Sports Lions postgame show. Make sure you guys tune into that directly after every single Lions game. Whether it's a win or a loss, they will be there, locked in, taking phone calls, writing names down. They're going to be locked in, drinking Kool-Aid with me. I'll be out there drinking Kool-Aid. Make sure you guys tune in. Maz, Stick, the whole crew will be there. That is on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. And then, Broder?
Yep, Mark White Real Estate's when buying or selling real estate's flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the chance to be able to cancel your listing for any reason at any time with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Just in time for football. Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check them out online at www.canna.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Sports Network not on, but it is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all locking in with us. We are, announcement as well, we are going over a little bit here today for you guys. We're going to make sure we get through all our segments. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. At 45, let's get that baby up about 15, 20 by the end of this segment. We're going to lock in here a little Lions stuff. I know you guys probably are looking forward to some Lions news. We're going to go over the injury report a little bit. Aaron Glenn spoke to the media. Have a couple videos in this segment from him. And really, Broder, at the end of the day, to me, I'm looking at this as just a Justin Fields segment towards the second half.
I love it. And we're going to do more breakdown tomorrow. Tomorrow's our pregame show. But we wanted to touch on Justin Fields and that offense. Justin Fields expected to return against the Lions defense.
First thing, though, we do want to update you guys. We haven't gone over it yet. The practice report. Flannel in the chat? Flannel!
I think it's a fake flannel.
Oh, okay. Hey, but we're going to go over this practice report here. Detroit Lions, Jalen, whenever you have it, you want to throw it up. There's a few things here. Nothing really too big. Isaiah Buggs, obviously out for an illness. No practice, Broder. I know you weren't in Allen Park today. That's a little bit of a concern, I think, 2 days straight. Jonah Jackson, this is the big one.
Yeah.
This is the big one.
I wish I knew a little bit more about this because yesterday I wasn't as concerned, but to get two practices in a row makes me think there's a little more going on with the wrist. The part of this injury report that was added this week, he was held out with an ankle injury. Now the wrist is added. I don't know what happened there, but wrist strength is huge, especially in a guard. Especially you're coming off the line, you want to jam them up right in between their shoulder pads. Hopefully we see him out there tomorrow. I'll be back down there tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. I think that was the biggest one to me. What was Jonah Jackson? Frank Ragnow again. Full practice actually.
Yeah,
full practice today. I was reading it backwards first.
No, sorry.
Full practice yesterday. Break
today.
Which we mentioned that we were like Frank probably is going to be off tomorrow.
You called that,
and he was. Melifonwu full practice now today. Levi Onwuzurike
fully.
He's full. Hip is good. Donovan Peoples-Jones back-to-back fulls. Khalif Raymond full. The Bears one is stacked.
It is, although it looks like a lot of people are coming back, but Tremaine Edmonds might be out. It looks like he hasn't practiced all week with a knee injury.
Packers legend, Mercedes Lewis.
That's big about Edmonds being out.
Was that
huge?
That's big about Edmonds, especially the way we're running the ball right now.
Yeah, that little that pair of linebackers that they have. It's difficult. And covering the tight end, covering Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
T.J. Edwards, though, is a beast. He's someone they still got to account for. Yeah, the rest of it, Justin Fields might be coming back. Khalil Herbert, that's a key. He's likely coming back. That adds a little extra firepower to that offense alongside Roschon Johnson. It looks like Deontay Foreman, limited, although he was the 3 at the beginning of the year when they were all healthy. A lot of moving pieces, but the Tremaine Edmonds, that's a big one. And then Justin Fields and Khalil Herbert, full practice, looks like they're a go.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. It looks like though Khalil Herbert, I'm pretty sure is going to be a for sure go. Coming off the IR.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember last year as well though. But Dante Foreman, he was over in Carolina.
Hey Jen, you can take this off.
He was over in Carolina, and he ran for 165 yards on the Detroit Lions, 7.9 yards per carry. Now, I know it is a different football team, different schemes, different everything, but he's still, like, this defense from last year, a lot of those guys are back.
Yeah.
Like, this is a similar defense from last year that's built up a little bit. That Carolina game was, like, in the middle of when the Detroit Lions were going on that run, that 8-2 stretch. 2 of those losses, one of them was to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And it was because Dante Foreman went off for 170 yards and 8 yards a carry on us.
Definitely.
And just cannot stop him. So that is, to me, I know we had the second best run defense in the NFL right now, or third, or whatever it is. I think this is going to be a game where it's like, if you stop the run, you win this game by multiple double digits. I truly believe that. Definitely.
Although they have improved their pass game, you're right. Shutting down that run game, making them one-dimensional, where if the pass is all they got, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And to be honest, it's the same way if we flip it. We talk about the Lions offense and the Bears defense. Their strength is their run defense too. But in terms of the Bears, you're right. That offense, they weren't exactly clicking before Justin Fields got hurt, but he was starting to figure it out a little bit, especially in the past game. And everything that Aaron Glenn talked about in his press conference today was about how electric he can be with his wheels. We talked about, I think it was yesterday, the similarities between the Baltimore Ravens and the Bears in terms of their newfound commitment to the pass game. They're trying to keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. The Bears are trying to keep Justin Fields in the pocket, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the ability to explode out of the pocket. And like Aaron Glenn said today, if he gets a seam, he can take it to the house.
Yes.
And Justin Fields is still an elite athlete in this league, despite his struggles early in the year.
And I did have a video here of Aaron Glenn speaking about Justin Fields, and he kind of broke that down a little bit to where and Dan Campbell, we saw the video yesterday of Dan Campbell talking about him as well. This isn't a guy to take, he hasn't rushed for 100 yards yet. He could do that any game. Don't want to let your defense be that one, especially when you're the second best in the league. So here's Aaron Glenn talking about Justin Fields and kind of just shutting that completely down.
Listen, we know what he brings to the table. I mean, he's one of those guys that, man, if it's there, he's out. And listen, you can have him corralled. He's strong as I don't know what, and he can break tackle. So, man, we got to do a really good job of containing this quarterback because he gets in his mode and he wants to run it. He can cause some issues, and he's done it all through his career. That's something that we got to do a good job of make sure we contain this guy.
Yeah, and you heard it there. That's all it comes down to. Dan talked about it yesterday. Aaron Glenn's speaking about it today. It comes down to just containing Justin Fields, and that's been a problem with mobile quarterbacks with the Detroit Lions. Even though they've been great in the run game and with running backs, the quarterbacks has been a position that they have not been able to figure out. And when it comes down to Justin Fields, I'm sure the Chicago Bears, at least if their coaching staff's smart enough and they're really not trying to kind of tank for that number 1 overall pick, I think they would be smart if they attack that with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Got Justin Fields moving. And that's something that Aaron Glenn, you have to be ready for.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. Also means the guys in main coverage, the cornerbacks, Cam Sutton, Jerry Jacobs, the safeties helping out, Brian Branch, they need to be able to stick with their man. They need to be able to maybe not win the one-on-one battles, but they got to stick with DJ Moore, make sure he doesn't beat you. But you're right. The only thing I worry about, all this talk, we want Aiden Hutchinson, we want this defensive line to go get sacks, and I want them to be aggressive. I just don't want them to over-pursue in this game. Like, this is, other than Lamar, this might be the best athlete you face, the best quarterback athlete. So they got to stay in their containment. They got to keep their edges, but they can't let him get away.
And I do think there's a side of this as well. I had another video of Aaron Glenn, and he spoke about kind of the motivation that this defense has. And I think, Broder, after giving up that many points last week and being in the shootout, there are those games where that's going to happen, and it's inevitable. And I know it's been versus good teams, and they just haven't found that versus like a legit opponent. They're staying motivated, though, and that's what Aaron Glenn's saying.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, listen, we're in the NFL. Stuff like that happens all the time. Look at the Ravens just this last week losing to the Browns after they blew out the Detroit Lions and the Seahawks. This stuff happens. You just have to find a way to still win the game, and then you have to find a way to learn from it. So Aaron Glenn, he did speak here in regards to kind of keeping these guys motivated and kind of their outlook going forward in the season.
Players are always highly motivated. I would say that. And listen, we know who we are. Man, last year we were the last ranked defense, and I think we're a top 10 ranked defense this year. So that's a really, really huge improvement. So as far as knowing who we are, we know that. We know we have the capability to go out there and play really, really good ball. There's no secret to why we ranked up there pretty high, and that's in third down, and that's in other categories too. So, man, we just got to go out there and continue to play. You know, that's just what it is. I think so many people get caught up in, I mean, this would happen against this game against a really good quarterback. And, I mean, all hell breaks loose. Well, you know it did. You know, guys, we're still a pretty damn good defense. We've played some good defense this year. And, man, get that out your head from everything that you see and what you read and just understand what.
All right, so there's Aaron Glenn. And
AG.
Yes, and there's those questions, too. Like, there's a lot of AG questions going out there right now. A ton. But what you said a couple of days ago about how great of a coach he is, like when it comes to motivating, keeping guys locked in and going, that's the side to where, yes, I understand there's schemes and you want to see more blitzes. You want to see, we could break the defense down. We could break all of that down. But at the end of the day, he is still a great football coach who will keep these guys motivated, and to where when that stuff does click, and we saw it last year when they finished 8-2, they went from 32nd, and in that 10-game stretch, I think they might have been like top 15, like 16th. Like, they made a huge step. So once things start clicking, he's going to have these guys ready. He's already got them motivated. He knows, hey, stay locked in, stay locked in, stay locked in. And once it hits, and once they get the pass rushers going, once they get guys going, it's game over.
I'm with you, Booner. Does DJ Moore, we'll answer this real quick for me. Does DJ Moore and Justin Fields, does that scare you? That's a pretty elite duo, or the potential to be a pretty elite duo.
All right,
potential.
I'm going to say this. Before Justin Fields got hurt, he went down the last game, I think early in the game, like pretty early, I'm pretty sure, like in the first half. The 2 games before that, Justin Fields threw for 4 touchdown passes in each game. He had 8 touchdowns in 2 games before he got hurt. So there is that side of me to where it's like, if he finds this run game where he's a mobile quarterback and the Lions struggle as they have in the past, and he's throwing to DJ Moore and he's finding guys and Cole Kmet, this isn't just a nice stroll in the park for the Detroit Lions. You better show up and take this game seriously.
You're right. And those cornerbacks better tackle, as I was thinking.
Yes.
And Cam Sutton has been a great tackler this season, one of the top on the teams. I know last week wasn't his best week overall, but he's been a very good tackler. Jerry Jacobs, too. A lot of those touchdowns, I don't remember how many and how many of the yards, but there was a lot of yards after catch from DJ Moore. I don't know if I think Darnell Mooney was involved in one of them, but they got to make sure, even if they make those catches, don't let them get those yak yards. But come on back. I think Booner and Nick got something to say.
We've got some stuff. Flannel might be in the chat, too, but, hey, I'm locking in. We're locking in. Flannel, I know he said I didn't mean it personally or not.
Yeah, you still got to respond.
The comment, we can't just let comments like that just fly. We can't.
They need to be dealt with.
Especially if we're the newest show here, we've got to address them, and we've got to set our tone a little bit here as well.
Yeah, it's like you were getting bullied on the first day of school.
Yeah.
We can't just take it. We got to hand it back. We're in a circle with all our friends around us. We got to at least fight back a little bit.
A little bit. We're fighting back.
Yeah. Let me tell you about Feldman first. I'm going to tell you about Feldman Chevrolet because they're Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. That's just the way it is, because since 1986, they've been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They have 18 locations, so there's got to be one in your backyard somewhere. So visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. And the Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy will be there on Monday and every other Monday at Feldman Novi. So Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Booner, but you got to tell them something.
About some defense, baby. Guardian Alarm, that is customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time, and they recommend security and automation solutions specific to your exact needs. That is 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. For all of that and a great defense, call the number right here. That is 1-800-STAY out.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with dry-aged beef, prime beef, and Wagyu beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. We have a beef we're about to settle here on this show, so you can go also order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Fairway, baby!
Fairway, baby!
Let's go. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate everyone locking in here on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys haven't yet, smack that like button for us. Appreciate it again. We're going to get into this here a little bit because there were some comments on the Morning Woodward Show. We did a JMO segment yesterday on the show. I didn't think it was that big of a deal that we did the JMO segment. We've talked about JMO a few times, correct, Broder?
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about in bad ways. We've talked about in good ways. We're just always honest when it comes down to it. And yesterday we did one where it was a positive thing. Coaches spoke about JMO. People came out and said he's taking steps forward. So you know what we did? We did the right thing as a normal human, and we said, we're going to speak about Jameson Williams, and we're going to bring a little bit light to what's going on right now with him because things are in a positive direction.
Beautiful.
Flannel, if you're watching, didn't like that. And I know he didn't mean it personally, but he did take a shot at the show that we've been trying to build, and he watches it every night. So here's Flannel a little bit on the Morning Woodward Show talking about the JMO talk and all of that. So here this is right here.
I really don't want to do this, but you know,
you don't have to do this.
No, I am gonna do this. I was all set today to have a very good Jameson Williams segment. I was just a very calm and civil
He's storming the beach now.
But I had to be somewhere last night, and I was driving home. I decided to tune in to my favorite night show, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. And their segment on Jameson Williams just had to be one of, and I love you, Booner, I love you, Broder, I love you, Nick, I love you, Jalen, one of the single most disgraceful things I've ever heard I've ever heard in sports talk. The way that they were talking about this man was just. Do you know what Nick in the sound booth had the audacity to say? That the Lions are 9-2 with Jameson Williams, which basically.
All right. This is what it is.
Single worst ever.
I've got some quotes written down. I've done my research. Flannel, I'm going to say this at the beginning, like you said at the beginning of your segment. I love your favorite morning show in the city. I love your morning show. I still love you, Flannel, as a brother. But these right here, ready? Matt Broder had the nerve. And Booner and Jalen and Nick didn't check him. One of the most single disrespectful things I've ever heard on sports talk radio. Well, listen, Flannel. If we can't sit here and talk good things about Jameson Williams, you're not allowed to talk bad things about Ben Wallace, about Darren McCarty, who sits in this chair and the most outrageous takes saying that he had nothing to do with the Stanley Cup championship.
That's terrible.
Ben Wallace shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, even though he has 4 Defensive Player of the Years.
What the fuck?
Tom Brady was lucky to have his career. We're talking about, Flannel, we're talking about Tony Snell stats that you're throwing up here with some of these takes, but we can't sit up here and celebrate a week of J-Mo when he really did score a touchdown and it got taken back. It's disrespectful to me at this point, Broder. Like, it's crazy, and I get, you could sit here and say it's 90 yards, 80 yards, whatever it is, but if you watch the game, if you watch football, if you watch sports, you know what Jameson Williams is doing right now. You know exactly the type of talent that man has and can bring to a football game. You saw it the other day when he scored a touchdown. Guess what? Aiden Hutchinson, 4.5 sacks. If we want to really be serious here, Jameson Williams, if they didn't get called back, 2 touchdowns. Oh, double that. He's right there with the sacks with Aiden Hutchinson. Am I wrong?
No.
What do you, and as well, too, this is another thing as well. If we're going to go at Jameson Williams, it's time to go at Aiden Hutchinson a little bit. He's been getting, I'm the biggest one about pressures, but it's time for Flannel. When are we going to say something about Aiden Hutchinson if we're going to go at J-Mo? J-Mo scored a touchdown. Hutchinson have a sack. When are we going to go 1-1 there with that? When are we going to start being fair to people? Let's stop picking and choosing who the people that we like and don't like, and let's start being realistic about the sport. And yes, J-Mo, I'm not sitting here saying he's a star right now. I see people in the comments like, oh, he's been a bust, he's this, he's that. I get it. I'm not saying he's a star right now. But if you watch football, you see him get in the end zone. You see him make big plays. And at the end of the day, too, if you're going to criticize him for dropping passes, maybe you should talk about him making those big blocks, because he's made about 4 or 5 of them for touchdowns this year so far. It's time to start. Let's be realistic around here. And then this is. I don't want to get. I just said I don't want to get mad. I'm already pretty mad. But it just comes down to where, hey, if we're not gonna have realistic takes here, if we're gonna go at Ben Wallace for the Hall of Fame when he has 4 Defensive Player of the Years, Darren McCarty, who might not be a great role player, is that what it was? 4 Stanley Cup championships. I don't know what we're doing here. I love you, Flannel. But you gotta lock in. Come on, Nick.
That was J-Mo's milkshake, his McFlurry all over Flannel's face. Nick, tell him.
Sam Flannel calling me out. Nick Koloff in the sound booth. Sam Flannel, he with Jameson Williams in this lineup, we are 9-2, and that is a fact. And since I know you like stats so much, I did the research on it and pulled them up for you. In the lineup, we are averaging 28.5 points per game. That would be 3rd in the NFL. Without him in the lineup, we have 25.5. That would be 9th. That is a 6th ranked difference. You have a top 3 offense with him in the lineup. Sam Flannel. And I said he makes other players around him better, specifically Amon-Ra St. Brown. With him in the lineup, St. Brown is averaging 93 yards per game receiving, and without him in the lineup, he's averaging 80. He makes difference for other players, Sam. He makes other players around him better. I know you want to see big 100-yard touchdowns, big every single play. He's doing the right things. Jamison Williams is going to be just fine. Keep his name out your mother effing mouth, Sam.
Real
and
quick.
keep bars too.
And I'm happy you're here so you can defend yourself in the chat. But the Aiden Hutchinson, like, here comes the Aiden Hutchinson respect. He has 4.5 sacks. You've told me this 100 times, Flannel, that you think Neil is out here wanting the downfall of Aiden Hutchinson, that he's preying on it. You prey on the downfall of Jamison Williams. When you don't compliment him for the blocks that he makes for touchdowns, 6 points. It's still 6 points. If he doesn't make that block there and he lets D-Mont get tackled, we're all going at his head. We wouldn't have had that same conversation we had yesterday. We had a positive conversation because the coaches are saying that he's getting better. He's becoming a locker room guy, that he's out there working. But we can't sit here and say we can't have positive conversations about Jamison Williams once in a month just because he hasn't put the stats up. The stats? What are we talking about, stats?
Dubs.
I don't care about stats right now. All I care about is wins.
And the Lions have 9 of them
What
with J-Mo in the lineup compared to 2 losses.
What are we talking about? Does D-Mac care about stats? No, he's got 4 Stanley Cup championships. I know he's I know J-Mo's a 12th overall pick. He's got 5 years in Detroit. He's going to get yards eventually. He's going to make an impact. He came in on a team that was already a top 5 offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, now Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs now, David Montgomery, Jared Goff, Josh Reynolds. He didn't just come in as a 12th pick on the 30th worst team in the NFL that doesn't have a weapon. He is trying to work his way into these, and the coaches are saying he's doing it in a great way, and he's a selfless player right now.
In fact, that's what Ben Johnson said today. Said he's doing a phenomenal job, really, since he's come back at meetings. He's attentive. He asks good questions, walkthroughs. He's on his stuff. And then in practice, he's practicing really hard. We're still working to get on the same page in some ways in the passing game, but we see improvements each and every day, each and every week so far. And I think the more reps he continues to get in games, it's only going to accelerate his progress. That has nothing to do with his talent. He just hasn't meshed with the offense yet. It hasn't all clicked with him. It's a very timing-driven offense. It's a very complicated offense. There, everybody, all 11 players need to be on the same page, and that's what Dan Orlovsky talked about a lot. Brian Baldinger, Orlovsky said a very detail-obsessed offense. He's got to be perfect, and that's something that J-Mo isn't yet. He hasn't got that down perfectly yet, but he's working his ass off, and he's getting there. I hold true. And this is something I don't want to bring this up to sound arrogant. You guys in the chat, you know I don't think I've ever said this, but I am down in Allen Park, and I get to see Jamison and his athleticism and this type of stuff that he has the potential to do. And he has the potential to be a better weapon than Amon-Ra St. Brown, better than Jahmyr Gibbs. He's without a doubt could be their best weapon. It hasn't clicked yet. There's a lot that go. My last thing, real quick. When I went to Michigan to play baseball, I was a pretty good pitcher in high school, but when I got there, it was a whole nother level up of like all the things that go into the game, all the catcher sign with the guy on second base, the pickoff move. I had a dominant pickoff move in high school, but it wouldn't work in college until I changed a few little things, a few little tricks to make me a better Division I pitcher versus a high school pitcher. There are things that good players need to learn before we get to see that they're good, that they're talented, that they're a weapon. The best thing that we've seen out of Jamison Williams shouldn't be a negative. He's been blocking downfield. He's been excited. He's a part of this team now, and I can't wait for him to figure it out.
That is the biggest thing. And Flannel is in the chat. He's in the majority of the games Jamison Williams has played. His stat line was 0 receptions, 0 yards. Listen, Flannel, the stats, throw them away. Don't care about the stats when it comes to J-Mo. Next year, when he's fully, like, we could talk about this in 12 months. Let's rehash this conversation in 12 months. He is on the number 2 offense in the NFL, coming in, trying to fill in to where it was already established. He is still, like, if you don't watch these games and you don't see the talent that Jamison Williams has, then I can't teach you football and I can't teach you what talent looks like, because he has it. It's a fact. That's why he's been in the end zone, 5 times? 4 or 5 times already, and however many snaps that he's been played in? Like, he's done it. Yes, some of them have called back. Yes, understand. I completely understand. Did he get there, though? Did he show you the talent was there? Did he show you where his ceiling was? Did you watch him back in Alabama? Let's end it. The slam, it's just crazy to me that you can look at the guy like Jamison Williams and just see, like, no, he doesn't, like, no. Because when he becomes good and he actually starts producing, I don't want to see any of these people front running. I don't want to see any front runners.
Also, we probably need to take a step back on like what production means for him. Like we talk a lot about this offense, and this is not against Flannel. Flannel, I love you, man.
I love
disagree
Flannel.
with this take, but I love you.
Yeah, this take just like that's why I'm so mad. Is it just fires me up, and
Yeah.
then this morning it was just like fuel on the fire.
Definitely, but we talk about Ben Johnson being able to adapt to the game in front of him, whether his game plan going into it is going to work or not, or he needs to pivot to a run-heavy game, a pass-heavy game, whether it's going to be Laporta for 8 catches or it's going to be Josh Reynolds for 5. He mixes it up, and I forget the comment in here. Our tour said something about Khalif Raymond. He takes 40 snaps a game and is just ready to be in the right place. When his name is called, when the ball's past him, he'll be ready. Right now, that's just the role that J-Mo's in. He's out there doing other things. He's going to get a bigger role, but I think when they need him, assuming he's ready for this moment, up to speed, when Ben Johnson needs him to win a game, he'll be there and he'll win that game. He just hasn't been needed. Him catching the ball hasn't been needed to win a game. Other things he's doing is helping the team win.
The thing that just gets me, he said, I don't get how people blindly defend him. That's my issue. We're not, that's the exact point. Is none of us, you're blindly looking at him. You're blindly not watching him and looking at stats. We're actually the ones that aren't blind, and we're watching the game film, and we're watching him play. Broder's watching him in practice, and we're seeing him make the blocks, be around the team, run the routes, make the plays. Yes, he only got in the end zone twice. How many times did he get in the end zone and got called back? Please answer that question. He's already done it. He's been in the end zone twice technically this year. 1 got called back. Don't care if it's gotten called back. He got in the end zone. That wasn't even a penalty. That wasn't even a penalty. So what are we talking about here?
Defenses have to look for J-Mo at all times. That was my point with the 9-2 stat, is that he is making other people better. And one more time for you, Sam, because you love the stats. 28.5 points per game when he is playing. That is 3rd in the NFL. Because other defenses focus on him, it opens it up for the St. Brown stat that I brought up earlier. Compared to 25 points without, that would be 9th in the NFL. Do you want a top 3 offense or a top 10 offense? That could be the difference in a massive playoff game, is that field goal.
Okay, Flannel, you don't get credit for NFL players' touchdowns called back. You don't get to give credit to Aiden Hutchinson for pressures. We can shake on that. Don't ever talk about his pressures ever again. Deal? Because it's affecting the same amount, right? Like maybe a little, but like, what are we talking about here?
Remember back then, not to go back to baseball, but remember when the Tigers had a lineup: Polanco, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez could go 0 for 4, and he could be the most important person on that team because of the protection that he provides to Miguel Cabrera to go do what he does and get hits, knock the ball in. That's what J-Mo's doing for Amon-Ra St. Brown right now, for Laporta.
And eventually he's going to get in the offense. Like, this isn't like a... This is what I'm saying. Like,
because he's that elite of a weapon.
Are we blind? Like,
do you know why?
Stop being blind!
You know why?
Open your eyes! Stop looking at the stats!
You know why he's going to get into the end zone? Because he's a weapon. He's an elite weapon. He's one of the fastest guys in the entire NFL. His stop and go is the number 1 in the NFL. He just hasn't shown it yet.
I don't know what else to say to Flannel. Like, I actually don't. Like, he's arguing. I don't know what else to say to try and break this down. The man gets in the end zone. He makes big plays. If you put him in the right position, he makes the plays. He makes blocks. He's a team guy. He's done a great job. We talked good about him one time, and it's the worst segment of sports talk radio ever because we have one segment to where we talk about how the coaches said something good about him. I don't know what to do with Flannel, about this with Flannel. Like,
there's nothing.
It's just, to me, it's disrespect to J-Mo at the end of the day. Now, we could talk about in a year if J-Mo doesn't do anything and then next year he's having this. It's like, okay. But, like, right now, you have weapons around him. You don't need to sit here and force the ball to him game after game after game. You have a guy putting up 100 yards. You have Josh Reynolds. You have the second best tight end in the NFL. What are we doing? He's getting in the end zone when he gets in the end zone. He got in it on Sunday.
Yeah, Nick in the sound booth. Nick Koloff in the sound booth has nothing against Sam Flannel personally at all. But the fact that he said that was the worst segment of sports radio talk that's ever been. That's too far, Sam.
Flannel.
Like, what are we doing here? We gave Jameson Williams some credit. And we're teammates. Like, what the hell are we doing here?
Flannel, I'm going to end it with this. I respect your opinion on some things, but to say it's us going at J-Mo and saying something positive about J-Mo and that being the worst compared to the takes of Ben Wallace, D-Mac, Malcolm Rodriguez today, going at Malcolm Rodriguez. A late round pick that had 86 tackles in his rookie year.
I think Malcolm's been really important.
We're the farthest from the worst segment on the sports talk radio ever. We are the farthest from that.
He was slandering Malcolm.
What the fuck? What is it?
He was slandering Rodrigo.
He goes at Rodriguez.
I think Malcolm's been having a good year, despite the fact he's not having it at linebacker. He's doing a good year for what a 6th-round pick would be.
Flannel.
He's playing fullback.
I'm gonna have to.
They love it.
Our thumbnail tomorrow might be the Tony Snell picture with flannel on it, just 0-0-0-0 about Ben Wallace, D Mac. I love you though, flannel. This is all for fun and games. But man, you piss me off.
All right, love you, brother. We got to get to break. Booner talking about Planet Fitness. We're going to work off that. Okay, never mind. Continue.
The overboard on the praise for J-Mo. We said he's talented. We said he has one of the higher ceilings on the team. What else? What are you talking about overboard?
I say he has one of the highest ceilings in the NFL.
And the man's
I stand by it.
Ceiling.
I stand by it.
We watched the football game. Watch him at Alabama. He sees him at practice every day. Overboard on your praise. He made a block for a huge touchdown. He had a touchdown that got called back, and the coaches came out and praised him.
Actually, I understand a lot of the points Sam makes. It's the
I do too.
It's the not accepting the other side that both can kind of be true, or that there is good to what he's doing. I don't know. Hey.
Oh my gosh!
Love
All
you,
right,
brother.
I love you, flannel. Let's move on from that because I'm sweating. I'm sweating so bad.
Papa Molly, I'm sweating.
All right, Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where we will not judge anyone. Not me, not Flannel, not Broder, not Jalen, not Nick. We're not judging anyone around here at Planet Fitness. Feel comfortable and you can work on your fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $1 or just $10 a month. No commitment at all. Make sure you guys go check it out. That is $10 a month where your fitness is essential.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best, like Flannel's Golden Retriever Jake or his Orange Pussycat. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Go to www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. I feel like I just ran a marathon. I'm sweating up here in this sweatshirt. I have a polo on from work, so I don't want to take it off.
Take it off.
No,
take it off.
Can't do it today.
The polo too.
If you guys haven't yet, though, hit that like button for us. We're going to get in here a little bit to some more Lions talk a little bit. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. Really, Broder, I want to throw this out here real quick. I'm in a group chat here. Easy send a message. So Joe Burrow got hurt. Jalen said broke his hand. I don't know if you guys noticed or saw the tweets before the game, but he rolled up earlier this morning when they got to their hotel or when they came in on the airplane.
Joey Burr?
Yeah, so when they came in their airplane, their social team put out a picture and they took it down really fast, but he had a thing on his hand.
Like a cast wrist thing,
not a cast, but like a little
support thing.
Yeah, and he had something on his hand. They took it down really quick because he was never on the injury report. Now, fast forward to now, he is hurt that same exact hand. What, a quarter into the game?
You know what I think they should do? They should suspend Zach Taylor for 3 games.
But they should give, and Easy made a good point, they should give everyone their money back who bet on Joe Burrow. He was not on the injury report. That is like a little bit of a, if he had something with his hand, which was shown, like that's when.
That's an interesting argument,
when
actually.
Vegas now when gambling is a thing, now that is the reason there's an injury report. That's part of it.
And you heard, not to derail us too much, but they shared on the heavyweights that Carissa Thompson, one of the sideline reporters, she admitted, hey, when I can't actually talk to the coaches, I just make up what they told me. What? Like, yeah, that's okay. She's like, I haven't been fired yet. Like, dude, that is the worst thing you can say.
Like, I wouldn't have bet the Bengals.
Hey, I'm not judging. Just
4,
like to shoot straight.
Right? I bet them +4. I wouldn't have done that if I knew Joey Burrow was Joey. I was gonna say Joey B.
Joey Burr. Joey Cool.
All right, let's get into it here. Appreciate you guys all still sticking with us. Sorry about that rant there. We just had to address that, and it was good to kind of get out some of the JMO stuff. We had a good conversation yesterday about it. I think that kind of opened it up a little bit to where we could feel a little bit better about JMO. Maybe we got Flannel a little bit to come over to the side to where it's like maybe it's not so bad.
Maybe.
I
hope
not, though.
In this Bears game, I hope he catches 4 tutties, 175 yards, and they win by 70.
Yeah, that was a whole 30-minute segment, basically.
Yeah, 22 minutes.
Let's do this. So I have a couple videos on Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. We'll talk about a couple of them. First one I want to talk about, I thought this was really interesting. Ben Johnson spoke about Malcolm Rodriguez playing fullback.
Yes.
And there were some questions about that, and I thought it was actually really interesting.
Good timing
the
putting
stuff
this
that he
after
said.
that.
Yeah, and I think this kind of worked out because Flannel, again, Malcolm Rodriguez, he's out there, he's playing. There's a lot of linebackers, but Rodrigo, he's out here making moves. Ben talked about kind of when it came about for them to be to put him in offense, and he also mentioned someone asked him, what did they say? Oh, they were like, how often during practices do you get him? And he was like, I was actually fighting with Aaron Glenn trying to get him over into some walkthroughs right before this. So here's Ben Johnson on playing Malcolm Rodriguez in fullback.
He when we drafted him last year, we were in the OTAs and I think it was Johnny Morton at the time was with us, and he said, golly, that guy looks just like a fullback, and so we've kind of had our eyes on. We mentioned something to coach back then, and no, he's a linebacker. But the injury to Kabinda, him being out, kind of opened the door a little bit to kind of guide him down that road, and he's done a great job so far. He's a physical player, instinctive, smart, which makes the learning curve a lot better for us. And I think we've had some production.
Look at that. Like Malcolm, they're finding ways to use him. They see how valuable he is. And I don't know if you saw my Twitter post, Booner, you guys in the chat. They were just doing warm-up drills where the linebackers are going and they like explode and hit the bag and run through. And Malcolm was my favorite guy in this drill.
Who's your other favorite guy?
Trevor Nowoski.
That's why I saw the tweet.
They hit it violently, and you can see Malcolm Rodriguez. He gets really low. He's not a very tall guy, but he gets really low and just explodes with violence, and that's what they look for. I would not want him coming at me. He's built a little different than Mike Allstott, but when you have this bowling ball as a fullback coming at you, holy moly, I would not want him coming and blocking me. No offense. That's why I don't play football.
Yeah, and Malcolm Rodriguez. You know what I saw in the morning show, talked about it a little bit, betting on him to score a touchdown at one point. Because eventually,
you never know,
they're going to catch a team slipping if you do actually think about it.
100%.
They're going to keep putting him out there, and they're just going to keep letting him block, and then when they're at the 1 and something happens, boom, Rodrigo, touchdown.
100%. Like, can you imagine what the 4th and 5 they completed successfully against the Chargers, where they just ran it up the middle with DeMont? Think of what that one play will do for the rest of the season when other teams are game planning what they're going to do on 4th down. If you have the balls to go on 4th and 5, run a halfback draw right up the middle. The playbook is completely open on 4th down. A defensive coordinator is terrified right now, I'm sure. Like, and they're going to go for it on 4th down very often. Like, now you have no idea what they're going to do. That's kind of the same thing with Malcolm. Maybe he gets a handoff, whether it's at the goal line or not. Maybe they just give him one, so it's like, okay, they got some guy back there who they might give it to.
Yeah.
That's what Ben Johnson, he thinks head.
I had 2 more videos here. Another Ben Johnson one here real quick. It's basically, so Ben Johnson, and this is actually a great point, to where when you're trying to become a contender, the one thing I feel like to this team here is like, can we get this, like, can we put back-to-back wins together and just stay consistent? And I think it's to the point that you brought up earlier, Broder, to where it's like these guys, even though it's the Bears, they're treating it like it's the Chiefs. And that's where Ben Johnson here, he kind of talks about the consistency and kind of keeping the momentum rolling here on this Lions team. And I thought it was really interesting kind of how he broke it down and looked at it. And it gives me so much faith, Broder, that when it comes to the playoffs time, these coaches will have them ready. So here's Ben Johnson on kind of keeping that momentum and consistency rolling.
Bye week, hopefully we can continue that momentum. That's what good teams do, is consistency. And so that's really our challenge here this week, is to put similar formula out there and have the same results. But really good group that we're about to face, the Chicago Bears.
So, Broder, I just think like right there, just thinking that just back-to-back week, because there's these times where you can get caught slipping, and you could like
you could fall.
Just an average, you could fall. Just an average team. Typically, they're like, oh, we're just on to the next. Like, oh, we just won last week. Let's celebrate. It's like, no, let's be consistent. Let's just keep next game. Let's not think about 2 weeks. Let's not think about last week. Let's just think about next game. That's this mindset. Dan Campbell spoke about it a lot. I hate it. But Ben Johnson, the way he talks, same with Aaron Glenn a little bit. It's like, these are head coaches. These guys are pros.
Right.
They're ready.
Actually, I have a comment. I don't know if it's the next clip you're going to play. I can't remember what you put in, but Ben Johnson hinted at another name we might want to be thrown into that a future offensive coordinator role. We talked about Steve Hyden, the tight ends coach. He actually referenced Scotty Montgomery and Steve Hyden as two guys who come to him with play ideas and are involved in the game plan, the offensive game plan. And I just hadn't thought about that, about Steve Hyden in that role. But hey, throw it in the bag.
What?
What's this? Isn't that what the song is? Throw it in the bag or put it in the bag?
I don't know.
I think it's throw.
Go,
throw. Yeah.
Throw it in the bag.
Anyways, what's this next clip you got?
I got one more. This one's Aaron Glenn. What's been the worry here about this Lions team?
Their pass rush.
And kind of expanding off that, it's players.
Yeah.
And having the right personnel, having the right players. I think this will ease a lot of Lions fans, and I hope it does it. When I heard it eased me a little bit, put me at ease, and I understand we still need guys. But just hearing kind of his mindset, like, hey, we don't have the players now, or like he didn't really say that, but like, hey, without these players, like we're still going to go out there and compete.
Yeah.
I know you guys keep saying you want this guy. Aaron Glenn said it right here. He basically just said, hey, we're going to go out there and compete with no matter who we have. So here's Aaron Glenn kind of talking about the personnel that they have.
Players are always highly motivated. I would say that. And listen, we know who we are. Last year we were the last ranked defense, and I think we're a top 10 ranked defense this year. So that's a really, really huge improvement. So as far as knowing who we are, we know that. We know we have the capabilities to go out there and play really, really good ball. There's no secret to why we ranked up there pretty high, and that's in third down, and that's in other categories too. So, man, we just got to go out there and continue to play. That's just what it is. I think so many people get caught up in, this would happen against this game against a really good quarterback. And, all hell breaks loose. Well, it did. Guys, we're still a pretty damn good defense. We've played some good defense this year. And, man, get that out your head from everything that you see and what you read. Just understand what we've done and what we're doing and focus on that.
There you go. Aaron Glenn just telling you how it is. He's definitely a great leader of this. I know people have questions about his in-game adjustments and whatnot, but I do believe he's the right man for the job.
Yeah, he spoke about it there. This defense, no matter what, they're going to be. He's going to have them ready to go. I might have got my clips mixed up because I did have a clip of him, and I just don't think I threw it in there of him talking about the personnel and like, hey, we don't care who we have, what guys are coming in or out. We're playing with who we have, and then just to hear that right there, that gives you just that much more like. All right, I trust this defense. Yeah. The schemes will come. He just keep motivating them. They'll come.
He'll stay scheming like Rick Ross.
And let's do it. Hey, when we come back though, we're gonna get into a little top 5 Thursday. We're gonna rank our top 5 NFL and wide receiver duos. Woodward Sports actually put it out earlier this week. I think it was yesterday. I saw Lucas put rankings out as well. So we're gonna kind of do ours here. But before that. Hamlin Pub, baby. Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just a place for you. Head over to Hamlin Pub, one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations, and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and all NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit the location today and experience your new favorite place for all things sports.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is already awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop for Swiss home and auto insurance. Do it like a pro. With Swiss Insurance, they cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Call and ask for Market Swiss Insurance or visit SwissINS.com. 248-800-4177 is the number. Swiss Insurance, yep.
All right, we are back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports YouTube network, or not YouTube, but just network, or woodwardsports.com, anywhere you guys want to watch it. Any Spotify, Apple Music, all of that, it is on there. Make sure, if you guys haven't yet, smack that like button for us.
All on the floor.
If you haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get over 100 if we can here. But Top 5 Thursday, Broder.
Yes, I'm excited for this.
This
was spurred by, it was the social post about where do Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff rank in terms of quarterback duos? So we go in top 5?
Yeah, I think top 5 is fair,
Top 5.
right?
You want me to start with number 5?
Yes.
Or do you want to start with number 5?
You can go 5 here, because I have my list here.
Do you want to get it started? Like, do you have an envision of how this is going to go? You want to kick it off?
I'll let you go first, actually.
Okay, you want me to go through all 5?
Yeah, and just explain a little bit, because I have a list here, and I'm still stuck in between a couple. I'm not going to change it based
you're
off.
waiting for me to go first.
Look across,
okay.
Look across here.
Booner.
Look at the
I got
numbers.
you.
You see the numbers there?
I trust
There's
you.
no numbers there yet. So
you.
I'm over here. I have a list.
I trust you, Booner
I
Stallions.
just haven't been able to think about where I want to put these people yet.
He's stealing my signs in person. This is a suspension.
Can't do that.
Suspension.
Suspend me
At
for
number
3 games.
5, arguably the number 1 wide receiver.
Oh, I think we're gonna have the same. Oh no.
And a southpaw throwing him the ball, so I had to include him in the top 5. Tua Tagovailoa,
South Beach,
and Tyreek Hill are my number 5. They're too electric. Tua, I think, needs a little bit more development in his. I love Tua, but I had a hard time putting them up a little higher. You could make a case that they should be up higher on the list. But at number 4, I got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles.
I like that.
I think it's a really good duo. They're both elite at their own position. A.J. Brown's been consistent this year, but I don't know. He could very easily be the number 1 receiver in the league, but I'm not there with him yet. He's had some amazing games, but Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown at number 3. At number 4, excuse me. Number 3, this is where it gets interesting, because I'm sticking in Detroit, and I'm going Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown as your number 3 quarterback wide receiver duo in the league this year. And this is how the duo is playing together, how they're both performing in this season. This very season, it's hard to imagine a better quarterback wide receiver duo than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like you could make a case that they're number 1, and I wouldn't argue. But there are some very talented quarterbacks and wide receivers coming up. At number 2, not my favorite team, but this duo is lethal. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills at number 2.
Wow.
At number 2.
That's, you know what? That's my squad. I didn't even have them at 2.
Really?
They're not that high on my list.
I mean, they're pretty epic together. I don't like the Bills, but they're epic. At number 1, hopefully his arm or his hand isn't broken. We got Joey Burr and Jamar Chase. Products LSU. That's an elite combination. When they're healthy, when they're both healthy, there's nobody better in the league. I'd have a hard time picking Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown over Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase if they're healthy, but I love Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff. I'm so happy they're the Detroit Lions duo. And I'm excited to ride that through the playoffs.
I like that.
Cool.
We have similar lists, but not as similar because there's like you have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs very high.
Hey.
So I have honorable mention. I'll say my honorable mention real quick.
Oh, I want in on that.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
So my honorable mention at 7, I had CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. I know like Dak, people hate him, Rain Dakota, but they both have had years where they put numbers up.
They're my number 6.
Number 6, I had Herbert and Allen and Keenan Allen. They both are putting numbers up. I know they're not winning a ton of football games, but you got to respect what they're doing and kind of that duo they have. They just don't have a defense to back it up right now. Number 5, though, I'm kind of going to where you're number 1, I think. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
You're number 5.
At number 5 for me. They have had a slow start to the year, but they've both kind of gotten back into it. The one that kind of pulls them back to 5 to me is Joe Burrow. He hasn't had the best year all around. So I'm gonna go them number 5. Number 4, this is my second squad. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Similar situation. Diggs has put numbers up. Josh Allen has put numbers up, but the turnovers bring him back a little bit. The wins bring them back a little bit. So I had I couldn't put them up in the top 3 based off that, just because. You have to be, if you're in the top 3, you have to be rolling. You have to be winning games. That's how I look at it. Number 3, same number 3.
Come on.
The Detroit Lions. I almost had them at 2, but 3 seems like the perfect spot. There's the two duos I have above them I think are the best in the NFL right now. And Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, they are chasing these guys down.
Love it.
And by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if these 2 guys are way up high or that they're in 1 or 2.
Are they chasing them down in the same conference in the NFC?
One in the AFC,
you just
one in
got
the
Amon-Ra St.
NFC.
Brown.
My number 2 is in the NFC. It is the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown.
Good call.
A.J. Brown, I almost did it number 1 because Jalen Hurts right now is the favorite to win MVP in sports books. So he's been having a year just by showing that. And the second point to it is A.J. Brown is having him and Tyreek Hill right now in the league. Like he's had 6 or like 4 or 5 straight games of like 150 yards or something crazy. I can't remember.
Just foreshadow number 1.
Number 1. Do you guys know what it is?
You say these
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tyreek
Hill.
Tyreek.
I don't know if you guys have watched their games, but just when you watch them play football, like you could just like these guys are on one string. It's just everything about these 2 guys. It's hard for me to say Tyreek Hill and then Tua pulls him along to where Tyreek Hill isn't the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. I don't care if he's had a bad game or like he is the best right now. And with that, Tua throwing him the ball puts him in that category. I think Tyreek enough puts them number 1 as the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the NFL.
Our lists were like palindromes. They were the complete opposite if you just flipped them. My 1 was your 5. My 2 was your 4. Amon-Ra St. Brown right there in the middle.
Right in the middle.
3,
I
4,
wonder.
5, 1.
Okay, LFG, Pasternak and Justin Jefferson.
See, that's where it gets tricky. Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in the league, but doesn't have a quarterback. Devontae Adams doesn't have a quarterback. What do you think about Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel?
I thought
were you thinking about him?
Brock Purdy is. I'm so off Brock Purdy.
Fair.
The last 3 or 4 weeks is I've turned away from him.
What about Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers?
No.
Not there yet?
No, not yet. Because I almost wanted to do a C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins, but Nico just isn't. He only has about 600-700 yards right now.
Go Blue.
And Tank Dell is in around 6. So, but I almost did that duo.
Those are the only other 2 that were like in my. How they're close. They're around there.
Is there any more in the chat here? Do you guys have any that we missed? I don't think we missed any big ones. I think the top 7 is like you can interchange some of them.
How about this? God hates cowards. Watch these clowns drop balls right in their hands, and you fantasy nerds say not a peep about this, just your beloved Lions. Acting like everyone is a 92 on Madden is your problem.
Is he talking about us with J-Mo?
Yeah, I think that's slander on us. No, I don't know. It's probably slander on Penny Sewell being an 86 in Madden, and Amon-Ra St. Brown being like an 82 or 84 or something. Yeah, they're idiots.
Yeah, I don't even want to comment on that.
He agreed with you, though, too, with Tyreek, number 1.
Oh, did he?
God loves you.
Shout out, God.
God loves you, coward.
God hates cowards. That's funny.
Anyways.
Great name. All right, let's get it. Let's go to break. When we come back, should we open the phone lines for a little bit?
I think we should.
Let's open the phone lines up. We'll do that. I think that's a good idea.
Because we're talking. Oh, look at that little sound. Because we're going to talk NFL MVP updates too. So it'll be a good conversation, you want to talk Lions, you want to talk anything NFL related, wide receiver, QB duos, whatever you want.
JMO, like if you guys want to call in and comment on that stuff, you guys can call in. I'm going to put the number here in the chat.
Put it in there while I tell you guys about Dispo, because they're giving away free turkeys on Tuesday, November 21st. Join Braylon Edwards and the Dispo Dispensary family at their Hazel Park location next Tuesday for their Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. Starting at noon, Dispo will be giving away Thanksgiving turkeys over the course of the day. All you have to do is purchase any product from Dispo Hazel Park on Tuesday afternoon, and you'll receive your turkey available while supplies last. Dispo Hazel Park is located at 634 West 9 Mile Road in Hazel Park, Michigan. Pull up, re-up, and grab your bird for Thanksgiving dinner.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How'd you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste, look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Check them out. drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Cintron, baby! Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys all locking in with us here tonight. We've had a good show so far. I've had a blast. I had a good time. Make sure you guys hit that like button for us. The phone lines, it is 313-552-6322. Again, that is 313-552-6322. I think we already have a caller. Should we wait a minute so more people
he's on
can
the
call
line.
in? Or just
Send
let them
him. Send it.
Send him.
Yes, sir. We are going to go straight to Daniel in San Antonio.
Whoa.
Daniel, you are live on air.
Daniel.
What's up, gentlemen? What's up, gentlemen?
How are you? Thanks for calling
man?
in.
I'm good. I'm great, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Very well.
What's up, Daniel? What do you want to talk about?
So I do want to talk about all this JMO slander, of course. I feel like he's you gotta give him a minute. He's getting in his element. I feel like, man, we're in for a treat against these Bears.
Do you think it's going to happen this weekend against the Bears? Do you think maybe a breakout game for JMO?
I think so. They're going to be watching Amon-Ra because I feel like there's been some inside with him and Equinemius, and I don't know about that one.
I was just want to ask if he doesn't break out. Like, what is the timetable for you? I know I'm giving it to kind of the end of the year just to see it. Like, I think we've already kind of seen some things out of him. But for you, if say he doesn't break out on Sunday, what is your timetable on that? Like, how long are you going to give it to where it's like, all right, are we actually worried, or are you just like, hey, let's just gradually let him come back? Like, where are you at with that?
I would be a little worried, definitely if we get into the playoffs. When we make it to the playoffs, I'm gonna be a little worried if he isn't showing off, because then it's just Amon-Ra and Donovan Peoples-Jones, and now at that point it's what's going on, bro? Like, you're the fastest person on the field and you can't go anywhere.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think when it does come to the playoffs, like he's probably over 16, 17 games into his career. At that point, it's like, all right,
get a full season's worth of a sample size. We'll see.
Which I think I already think that. Appreciate you, Daniel, for calling in. Oh wait, one
real
more.
Quick, yeah,
have a great night, Joe.
Daniel, are you a Victor Wembanyama fan?
Oh, it's San Antonio.
Oh, Oh, I am actually. I'm very high on that. I've been going to a couple games.
Let's go.
We're jealous of you here in Detroit. We feel like you stole him from us.
So sad.
But it's fun. Got to be an awesome time watching him, huh?
We gotta be.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Man, Victor and Cade would have been nice. No, with the JMO thing, though, too, I know we've talked about him a lot today. I do think it's like he's been showing us little spurts here.
I'm not worried about him at all.
Yeah.
I get we all want to see it. Because he's so electric and so he can be such a difference maker. We want to see it. Like that. Like if he was and I guess that I'm probably going to make the point against me. Like if he was a 3rd round pick, we wouldn't be worried at all about him right now. But because he was a 12th overall
which
pick,
is fair. I think
it is
like
fair.
That's the thing with the flannel thing. It's like I think it's fair. Like you can question it, but let's not go overreact. And like if people are gonna like, you can't.
If we're gonna support him,
and then get stuff and say that you had the worst segment of all time in sports radio on your show because you're supporting him because he had a good week and the coaches said so.
Yes.
So like there's a give and take. You have to have both sides of it. All right, we have another caller here.
Another caller.
And real quick, before we bring him in, make sure you guys are calling in. It's 313-552-6322. It's in the chat there, pinned. All right, Nick, who do we got?
Yes, sir. We have a member of the chat. It is Freddie313.
Let's go!
Freddie! Everyone, goat emojis in the chat.
Shout out to Freddie. Freddie, what's up, man?
What up, though, fellas?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Thank you, by the way, for letting me know that I needed to rewind a little bit. This is the first time I actually haven't watched live.
Wow.
So I missed a good one. But Broder had me in the chat.
That includes during the Metallica concert. You're still watching Woodward Sports Live. You are a super fan.
Dude, I had the AirPod in most of the time at Metallica. Like, it was hilarious. I got to get my fix in.
That's dedication.
I just want to... So, dude, I promise I won't be long-winded, but I have to, like, being a loyal listener here and appreciating, first off, the best show on Woodward Sports Network, hands down.
Let's go, Freddie.
Because you got, don't worry, I will. You got two guys here that are actual Detroit sports fans, not closeted Laker fans, not locked on Chiefs host Sam Flannel. You actually have people that are rooting for this team's success and not having people that want to take a victory lap because their one take was right. Call me crazy. I'm in Indy right now. I've been here since grad school, about 15 years. I'm from Pontiac, dude.
Let's go.
I grew up 2 miles from the Silverdome.
Oh.
I grew up 2 miles from the Silverdome. I grew up watching Barry. I have been embarrassed my whole life with this franchise. I cried at the Thanksgiving game last year because I'm waiting for this team to turn a corner because I love this team. I love the Lions. And the fact that you have people on here that are like preying on the downfall of players. We're 7-2 and people act like we're 2-7. I watched the draft party and there's people stomping and throwing tantrums because we drafted a guy that they now call Lagoda. But at the time, they're like, who? Like, Michael Mayer's available. Do you want this team to succeed or not? And that's the problem, I think, with the fan base. And that's not the typecast. Everybody on the network, there's great hosts outside of the two of you. And there's great fans as well. But it is indicative of the fact that for this fan base, there's quite a few people that have no idea how to handle the Lions actually being a good football team.
That's a good point.
I love that, Freddie. I do.
Learning how to win and learning how to support a winner. It's especially if you aren't used to it. Like Freddie's lived through this since they played in the Silverdome. You know, learning how to deal with a winning team isn't the easiest thing. It's new for everybody.
It is. Hey, Freddie, I appreciate you calling in. We're gonna get you a break. I want to react to Freddie real quick. Freddie, thank you. We'll open the lines up again. I know you watch every show, so make sure you call back in because Freddie, you're the GOAT.
Those compliments are awesome too. Thank you.
They're great. Yeah, greatly appreciated. I want to comment on that too real quick because this was a couple weeks ago when I was trying to explain to some people that like we're sitting here, Broder, and the Detroit Lions are 7-2. Go look at other fan bases that year after year they're winning. Like those fan bases places, those people on those radio like, yes, they're breaking the team down, but they have this confidence to them that's like, I know we're gonna go win every game. Like whether we're winning tomorrow, like we're winning next Sunday, like it's a thing, and it's that mindset you have to get. And that's why I love Woodward so much too. And I think like even with like Stick and all these different people, like it feels like Woodward is like that new, like, hey, like the Lions, like we love the Lions. Stick the people love the Lions. That's where I'm at with this. I know there's other places around town that will go at the Lions and they're not real fans. They're not even from Detroit, and they do that. So I think being able to say, hey, let's break the game down in this way and look at it as a kind of a fan, but still let's be a reporter. Like for you can't really be a big fan while you're in Allen Park, but when we're here, like different spots, you're able to. I just think it's like, hey, let's be positive a little bit. Like shout out to Easy too today for being like, you know what? Let's stop this golf talk till the end of the year, because listen, the Detroit Lions are actually 7-2. We've all been watching them our whole lives. Shout out to Easy for stepping up and being like, let's go take a run at this thing. And let's stop talking about these negatives. Let's actually start talking about the positives and what this team can do.
And sports talk is supposed to be polarizing. Like it's good to have debates, but as long as it doesn't get personal, as long as you aren't like preying on the downfall of the other side. And no, I'm not saying Flannel is preying on the downfall. I'm just saying like having the conversation and having difference of opinions. That if you can have those conversations, that's where I have hope for the world. Like having a debate and ending with a hug or I love you. Like Booner and I don't agree on everything, but at the end of the show, we dap each other up and it's like, all right, great show. We don't take anything personal. So let's everyone just have debates in a good way. Let's just everybody love everybody.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Go ahead, Nick.
Love everyone. That was a great call. And speaking of that call, Detroit Dabber takes one straight out of Broder's book. He said Freddie hasn't been on fire this much since Nightmare on Elm Street. Shout out Dabber for that one. Something straight out of Broder's book.
Dabber!
With the movie play on that one. So shout out Freddie for the call too. You guys are the best. And
we're gonna open the lines back up tomorrow. I think maybe for our pregame we can get some people's score predictions. Maybe we'll do a quick segment, like 15 minutes on that. I'll
maybe people have some opinions on the Michigan scandal. I guess the scandal's over.
Maybe tomorrow, Michigan, like 9:15, we'll do a whole segment of calls. When we come back, though, we're going to keep things rolling here. Let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Dan Campbell. But Big Boy, baby. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. And what about some breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. Also, they have the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. And stop by your local Big Boys today for all of those.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by offering Les Stanford Buick GMC the same great service the customers have come to know and trust. It's on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. They also have their flagship location in Dearborn. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Let's Stanford, baby. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We did say it. We started 15 minutes late today with some technical difficulties. We are not ending the show at 10. I don't know if we get in trouble for going over or not. I don't know how that works here. We really haven't done it.
Take the over.
But we're just going to go over for the people. We'll take an L for the people. We're going to go until 10:15 here for you guys.
Yes.
We're going to give you guys an extra 15 minutes. Still do mailbag for 10 minutes. We're going to hit this, though. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Let's get over to 70. Let's get like 80, 85 likes, and then mailbag. We'll break the barrier and get over 100.
Break the barrier.
Fellas, I want to go around the room on this one too. This is kind of a topic that I think has been going around, and today it got confirmed that it was no longer kind of a thing. But Dan Campbell to Texas A&M. To me, it's always been like that's never going to happen. I did put a tweet out though. Part of my take spoke a little bit. Big Cat, they had a segment to where they said, Lions fans, if you're sitting there and Dan Campbell does go, there are some Lions fans that are secretly like, oh, well, we saw Ben Johnson. And there were
That's a good ass point.
And it was. And there was a lot of people on Twitter who were sitting there like, oh, no, we love Dan. We love Dan. We love Dan. I tweeted this out. I'll say 100 I'm a man of the people. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say what I know the people are thinking. We don't want Dan Campbell to leave.
No, not at all.
Dan Campbell is my white whale. I want to chuck beers with Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. What he's done with the culture here is something we have never seen. I want him to be here forever, lifetime contract. But if they would have wedged Dan Campbell away with triple, quadruple, $12 million, $15 million of a salary, and Dan Campbell would have been like, hey guys, I get it. This is my alma mater. They just gave me $15 million. I have to take this. I'm going back home to Texas.
Yeah.
And he did that. I tweeted this. I was like, I'm just happy that Ben Johnson still has a parking spot in Allen Park.
100%.
If that did happen.
Yeah, you're not hoping Dan Campbell goes, but if he goes this year, hypothetically, you still have a chance to keep Ben Johnson, keep the I forget what word I was going for, but keep the train rolling. It'd be awesome. But no, we don't want Dan Campbell to leave. He's built this thing.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I would rather. I want him here.
You know who?
It's just a perfect scenario though, to where if that did happen, you have the backup. You have the best head coach prospect on your team.
Definitely, and hit the booth, boys. But Naz brought up something on the Armani and Edwards with Naz show today. Talking about Aaron Glenn. I forgot Aaron Glenn's a Texas A&M grad. He could be a good fit for Texas A&M.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
to me. This term might get overused too much, but he's a leader of men. Like Aaron Glenn could be a great addition. Man, him in a recruit's house with his parents. I'm sending my kid to Aaron Glenn. I don't care what defensive scheme. You can hire whatever defensive quarter you want.
He would be a great head coach, especially in college. The way he is, he would be a great head coach.
Yeah,
he needs
continuity. That's it, Lorena Rios. Nick, what do you think?
The moment Dan Campbell had his first press conference, I was all in.
Yep.
I was on my way to Jets Pizza in Clawson for lunch. I stayed in my car to watch the interview live. I made a reaction video, everything, the whole 9 yards. I was so damn fired up. This guy can never leave us. He can never leave. We're going to hold on to him forever, and you can never leave us. No, it's just he would never go to A&M right now. You know, he would have to win the whole Super Bowl maybe when he gets a little older in age. I don't know. He is on a mission to get this team, get this city its first Super Bowl ever, and I think he will do it in his tenure as a Lions head coach.
Yeah, I love that.
Could even be this year.
Yeah. Do you have an opinion, Mr. Jalen?
He's not going anywhere.
Yes.
He's not going anywhere. I don't think he'd do that. I don't look at him like that. I think if he starts something, he wants to finish it. A lot of coaches go for money and stuff like that, but I feel like his end game is us winning a Super Bowl, and that may not, if it doesn't happen, I feel like he wants his years here to be remembered as like, I'm the guy that tried to get us there. We want to win, but I don't think he'd leave. It's unfinished business here. I don't think he'd leave yet. Maybe in 5 or so years, it'd be different. You never know what could happen, but I don't think that he's gonna just up and leave us. His character's not built off that. He's too many morals for Dan Campbell, man. He's not built like that.
I like that actually. Like he's just that type of guy where it's like, I started sometime, I'm gonna finish it. And the trajectory that he's on right now, he's on pace to be one of the best ever as a head coach, and if not the best. He goes and wins playoff games. He goes and wins a division first time since '93. He goes and somehow wins a Super Bowl the next couple of years. He will be enshrined in Detroit history forever. And I think he knows that because he's been here, he's played here. I think he definitely knows, and he talks about it a lot. that he knows kind of what it means to this city, and he knows kind of the culture, and he's built on like the grit. He brought that whole grit thing. He brought that here, like the words, the merch, all of that. Like that was him, and he knew that, and he knew what the city was about. That. So yeah, I don't see Dan leaving at all. That was just a conversation to where like I already knew. I think as soon as it came out, I was like, there's no chance.
No.
Like if he was about to leave for money, I know for a fact Sheila would say, here's a contract extension, here's money.
He's
it was
a
the same
coach.
thing. Look at Ben Johnson last year. Ben Johnson had a chance to go get a head coaching job. They gave him more money. He stayed.
Now it's time to give him a little bit more money. Dan Campbell needs to be the Lions coach forever.
That's what you were planning over there. I see.
Forever. I even have the stash. I didn't even realize he even got the stash, the Sandlot. I hope he's Lions
I was kind of thinking the Billy Madison where he's like squeezes the little kid's face. He goes, "You can never leave." Whatever it is.
Do you have any more come? More come? More come?
Oh my
Stay in the
God.
first
Let's
grade
take our
forever.
last break.
Let's do it, man.
Booner, tell them about Lady Jane's. We're going to come back. We're going to do 10 minutes of mailbag. Get them in so we can go till 10:15. If there are no questions, we got to cut it short. So get as many as you can.
Keep dropping the questions in. We'll try and get it to 10:15. We just need all the questions we can. But come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams. A trip of your dreams, an all-expensive paid suite to the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. If you guys aren't watching college football right now, make sure you got or college basketball. Tune in. It is great. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Looking at it right now, it is wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate. It's going to be at Eastern Market in Shed number 5, and it's also going to be a bash. Come hang out from 9:30 to game time with your friends at Woodward Sports Network. We got food, we got drinks, we got entertainment, all included. Just head to bullseyeeventgroup.com to get your tickets. Do it!
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Hey, check out Bullseye. Bullseye is great. If you guys haven't been down there for a tailgate yet, it is unbelievable. I was down there week 1 or week 2, actually. It was such a great spot. But final stretch of the show. Welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. First thing I have here, Ryan's Lions said, hot take. Campbell, Holmes, and Goff are the next Belichick, Kraft, and Brady-ish.
That is scorching.
I don't think maybe he doesn't mean like that level, but maybe he's saying like kind of like a little, like a kind of dynasty.
Yeah,
is he what?
Is he the owner of the Patriots?
Yes.
But you mean the GM, Patriots GM, head coach, quarterback?
GM, quarterback, yeah. I don't like. I don't think it will be that extent, but I think there's a chance where they're building something pretty special.
I think that Patriots crew is they're kind of goated, and I know Bill Belichick is sort of on a downfall, but they're kind of like in their own class again. And I love Campbell and Goff, but what?
Do you remember I mentioned the other day the leader for Belichick to go? I think I mentioned it to you that Dan Orlovsky said that he knows the exact team that is kind of the front runner, and they already have like a kind of a deal in place to where if they want to move on from Belichick. I don't know if it's this team. This isn't from Dan Orlovsky, but I saw on Twitter that the leader right now to get Bill Belichick as a coach / GM is the Washington Commanders.
Ah, did I say that yesterday? Or guess that yesterday?
You may have. Yep.
Interesting. Because Ron Rivera's out. Yep. He goes in. He got a new ownership.
So that's and like what Magic happened? Johnson's the only part of that. Like they're going to want to make like a splash. That is a splash.
Well, what happened to Eric Bieniemy?
OC? I don't know. Maybe he gets a job somewhere else as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Vegas?
A tough one. But that was the tweet I saw.
Call me a leader.
Let's see. Brian Ruth, mailbag. Do you believe Irvin will help our young guys get home more often, and with a guy with his experience help specifically come playoff time? Broder, I'll let you hit this one.
I think you hit it spot on right there. I think that's his floor. His floor is coming in and just helping the young guys, helping Aiden Hutchinson get home, learn some of his veteran tricks. I think he's going to contribute on field a little more than that. It's going to take a couple weeks for him to get in game shape, but then I definitely think playoffs. He's going to get he's going to get a sack. He's going to contribute on the field. Ben Johnson said they're going to create some schemes for him, but he plays that Sam linebacker position, that outside the edge rusher position in their base formation, and they're going to work him in some of their normal schemes. So I said Ben Johnson. I meant Aaron Glenn. I think Irvin's going to contribute.
Jalen, did you have something on that?
Oh, I was reading questions, dude.
I got one right here. I'm curious to get your guys' response from Phil. Mailbag. You guys hunting at all, or have you deer hunted before? Do you enjoy venison?
I've never actually hunted. I think I've been out with like my stepdad a couple times, or I would go up north with him when they would go hunting. But yeah, they would get deers and venison sticks. The Country Smokehouse, shout out. I don't know if I'm allowed to free ads or anything, but
no,
great spot though. I don't know if you guys know that on Van Dyke. But no, yeah, I love venison. It's great.
Yeah, I like venison. I've never actually been out hunting. Maybe something get into when I'm older in the future or something.
Killer!
I'm going to ask around the room in this one after I answer. The Way fan says, what's that MJ jam that gets you going, Broder? And I'm assuming Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he acted twice.
I like the song PYT. I like Pretty Young Thing.
Oh, that's a great song.
Or Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, because that was like in Rush Hour 2. I remember I just have a lot of good memories with that song. Michael Jackson, favorite song?
I'm just going to go off with what you said, PYT, yeah, because there's a remix of that too. Great song, by the way.
Bump. Yeah, shout out Hutchinson. Shout out Hutchinson.
Hutch.
Yeah.
What do you think, Billie Jean?
Yeah, Billie Jean. That's what.
I love that.
Yeah, shout out
That's
Hutch.
great.
You guys remember the performance of Hutch singing Billie Jean? That gets me fired up.
What about you, Jalen?
Oh, this is crazy.
I know.
Human Nature is mine, dude.
That's a great song.
Human Nature rocked my world because I think Chris Tucker was in the intro to that.
Was he really?
Yeah.
And then Chris Brown covered, or he remade Human Nature. I like that song.
Yeah, She Ain't You. Yeah, that was look at Broder, man.
I see you.
Hey, this is a great question. David Brewer. Maybe. You can only extend 3. Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, St. Brown, Hutch, or C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
I hate you.
3?
I hate
3
you.
out of those 5.
Name them again.
Okay, name them again.
Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, St. Brown, Hutch, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
I got mine, and I don't think
I
it's
don't
too
know.
hard.
I think all of mine are on offense.
I got one on
What are
defense.
they?
Hutch is a go for sure.
Sewell.
Penei is a go for sure. I want to go St. Brown, and let's see what Hendon Hooker can do.
Yeah, I'm going without a doubt. It's the 3 of your top player. I mean, obviously top players.
Top
Sewell,
overall.
St. Brown, and Hutch. You keep that offensive and defensive line leaders, and then St. Brown is an absolute dog. He will play in any offense.
That's a fantastic question. I'm going with this exact same 3 too, for the exact same reason. Go Red Wings.
I'll be the outsider then, I guess.
Oh, what do you? So you would say Goff, St. Brown, and Sewell?
You know, I'm big on Jared Goff. I'm going with Goff, Sewell, and St. Brown. I mean Hutch. I mean it's Hutch, but CJ, I don't know. I don't know about that one, but I'll go with all of mine on offense. So I'll take that one.
Hey,
I'll take that one.
Love it. Love it. The Away fan, by the way, big shout out to the folks in the booth making the magic happen.
Shout out.
Nick, Jalen, killing the game
today,
as always.
Man. I know the stuff today. Shout out to Jalen for getting that thing going, man.
Yes.
I appreciate
Shout
you
out,
guys.
Jay.
Thanks.
How about this?
And shout out the Away fan for that. We appreciate it.
William Vanderswag, mailbag. How many targets do you think DPJ will get, and do you think Antoine Green will get a catch or two?
Now, if okay, so that's the thing. If DPJ is going, and we're talking about targets for him, Antoine's gone. I'm not saying gone, but he's not going to be on the field like he was the last couple weeks. So I think DPJ. I'm going to say 3 to 4 targets if he plays this Sunday. I'm going to say 3.
All right.
I'm going to go 3 because Marv, when he was kind of going, he got about 3. When he struggled a little bit, he didn't get much. But I think when he was going, he got 3. Remember that first game versus the Chiefs? He had like 6 targets.
Josh Reynolds or Marvin Jones? Marvin, yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be that heavy, but I think about 3 targets, 2 catches maybe. I think that's a fair first game.
Boone, but J-Mo was out in that first game, so I'm thinking.
That's fair.
I'm thinking with J-Mo back.
So I think it's 3 good?
I'm thinking he gets maybe 1 long shot,
1
deep.
By the way, we didn't read off some of these
because I think J-Mo
MJ song. We got Thriller, Lady in My Life is goated, says Freddie Felt. PYT, good choice. Thanks, my guy. Off the Wall has many bangers as Thriller. November 82, Thriller. Great job. Bad PYT, Man in the Mirror for Driving, laughing my ass off.
Man
Detroit
in the Mirror
Dabber.
gives me PTSD.
Does it?
I had to sing it for our 5th grade promotion.
Let's hear it.
You know what? You have to sing it for all of YouTube to hear right
I
this
don't want to make a change
moment.
for the rest of my life. I don't.
I see what you did there.
So it was cool, but it was like we sung it for like 2 weeks straight, and I just lost my shit.
It's a good song though. It's just maybe overplayed. It's a classic. It's a classic.
I want to address this comment. Suspenseful habits. Flannel's the role player that doesn't matter. Flannel matters. That's what we like. I know we all go at it a little bit. We love Flannel. Flannel is a huge piece. He's a big piece of the Morning Woodward show. Like Flannel, like he is that man. He is the man. As much as the crazy things he says, and him saying something about our show today, we still love Flannel. Flannel is still the man. Suspenseful habits.
Flannel
goes
matter.
at BDE as well.
He does a lot behind the scenes.
Massive, like fucking,
Cajones.
He does, yeah.
on him for that.
I respect Flannel a ton. I love him.
We got no beef with Flannel besides the personal attack on the worst take ever in sports talk history.
We just had to respond. One more.
Let's do one more here.
We gotta find one more.
Paul Thomas, Flannel lives matter.
No. Mailbag, Phil. If Goff gets hurt, can Bridgewater win? Would Hooker see snaps if Teddy went down?
I don't know about Hooker. We haven't heard it. He hasn't even practiced yet.
Yeah.
He has not practiced because they haven't taken him off the IR. So
I think the only way he hits the active roster, or maybe even that emergency quarterback spot, is if Jared Goff goes down for an extended period of time. But I don't think we see him at all today. Teddy can hold down the fort. And who's the third? Is David Blau the technically third string?
He's that emergency one, I think. You know how there's that third emergency going forward?
Yeah.
He is that emergency one. So
cool. When does Hooker get healthy?
He is healthy.
He is. I think it's just more so they're kind of letting him work back to where it's like you're still kind of.
I see him. He spent
practice
a lot of time with JT Barrett, the assistant quarterback coach, former Ohio State legend. I gotta give him props.
Go Blue.
Yes, definitely go Blue.
He was short.
He was.
He definitely was.
But he could sling it.
I watched that back the other day. All right. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Lions pregame show for the Woodward Nights. So make sure you guys tune in. Everyone, full force. Tune in. Morning Woodward Show, 8 to 10. BDE, 11 to 1. 2 to 4 is Monty Edwards and Maz. Heavyweights to follow, and then we will be back 8 p.m. Make sure you guys all don't miss it. We will see you guys tomorrow.
The chat is goated.
Love you guys.
Toodles, my G's. Goat.